In the heart of the night, where the shadows play, Steve and Michael begin lighting up the way. Abnormal investigations, whispers in the trees. With boots on the ground, I'm chasing mysteries. Shining lights into the dark, unveiling what's unseen. Through the haunting silence, I walk where others dream. I'm on the ancient woods, where legends come alive. I'll uncover the truth, feel the shadows strike. Footsteps on the trail, echoes in the night, searching for the secrets hidden from the light. Cryptids roam the wild under the moon's embrace. With every rustle in the leaves, I feel their haunting grace. Shining lights into the dark, unveiling what's unseen. Through the haunting silence, I walk where others dream. Among the ancient woods, where legends come alive, I'll uncover the truth, feel the shadows thrive. Each night a new adventure in the depths of the unknown. With passion in my heart, I'll walk this path alone. But with every discovery, I know I'm not afraid. For in the woods of wonder, true wonders are made. Shining lights into the dark, unveiling what's unseen. Through the haunting silence, I'll walk where others dream. Among the ancient woods, where legends come alive, I'll uncover the truth, feel the shadows thrive. So here's to the night, where the strange comes to be. With boots firmly planted on where I'm meant to be. In the heart of the night, where the shadows play, Steve and Michael begin lighting up the way. Abnormal investigations, whispers in the trees. With boots on the ground, I'm chasing mysteries. Shining lights into the dark, unveiling what's what's unseen. Through the haunting silence, I walk where others dream. I'm on the ancient woods where legends come alive. I'll uncover the truth, feel the shadows thrive. Footsteps on the trail, echoes in the night, searching for the secrets hidden from the light. Cryptids roam the wild under the moon's embrace. With every rustle in the leaves, I feel their haunting grace. Shining lights into the dark, unveiling what's unseen. Through the haunting silence, I walk where others dream. Among the ancient woods where legends come alive, I'll uncover the truth, feel the shadows thrive. Each night a new adventure in the depths of the unknown. With passion in my heart, I'll walk this path alone. But with every discovery, I know I'm not afraid. For in the woods of wonder, true wonders are made. Shining lights into the dark, unveiling what's unseen. Through the haunting silence, I'll walk where others dream. Among the ancient woods where legends come alive, I'll uncover the truth, feel the shadows thrive. So here's to the night where the strange comes to be, with boots firmly planted on where I'm meant to be.
All right. Is everyone able to hear me? Hopefully, everyone can hear me. I think we got everything straightened out now. Should be able to hear me. So, I hope everybody's ready for tonight. I want to throw Pam in here just to make sure everything's working.
I'm here.
Hello, Pam. Can you hear me?
I sure can.
All right. I wanted to make sure because sometimes it takes people a little while to let me know in the chat, and I didn't want to be talking and no one could hear me.
Yep, I understand that. That happens.
It does happen. So, how are you doing tonight?
I'm wonderful.
Good. Everyone, I hope you're going to be ready for tonight. We got Pam's going to be joining us. Hopefully, Christina's going to be able to find her way in here. And we are going to talk about some personal encounters. Before we get that kicked off, we have.
Except my dog's gonna bark.
We have Charles and Carol.
That's
We have
it.
Gary Carpenter. We got Lynn Blevins in here tonight. Good to see you.
That's
Got a
enough.
lot of good people in here tonight. So I hope everyone is ready to hear some personal stories. Do we know Sharon?
Can I
Uh
let my neighbor know I can't get to the phone right quick?
Sure.
I'll be right back.
Okay. Yeah. So
I'm on that live.
if you want to, guys, let's see what we're going to do here. Sharon, do we know? Small problem. Okay, so hopefully she's going to get that worked out, and she will be able to appear backstage. She's never done this before, so it may take her a second to be able to
I'm
get
back.
in here.
Sorry.
Is everyone able to hear me? Hopefully, everyone can hear me. I think. Boy, we have a huge delay. It seems like tonight, but maybe not. Maybe we don't have a delay. So you're hearing me okay? Everybody, I believe, is hearing us okay. So.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully, Kristen will get it worked out. The mods are helping her try to figure it out. And when she comes in, we'll bring her back. Let me fix this. I cannot stand the screen like this. I believe this is. There we go. I think that's going to be better. So, Pam, we may end up starting with you first tonight. I don't want to keep everybody waiting that's in the chat that's came in here to hear these scary stories. If you want to, Pam, don't go into your stories. Go ahead and just kind of let everybody know who you are, how long you've moderated, and let them get to know you a little bit. And I'm going to try to make a phone call and find out where we're at with Kristina. So I'll be right back.
Well, that'll be a short conversation. I have been moderating for Mike about 3 years now. I love moderating for him. He's a good guy. My actual name is Pam. And I've got a couple of encounters that blew my mind when I had them. Never thought I'd have any type of encounter at all. But I hope they can get Christina in here because I know she's got something way better than mine. And it's going to be a good night. But how is everyone doing? I can't see the chat. Hope everyone is well. I don't know what to say. I'm kind of stuck here. He left me hanging.
Okay, I'm here. I was trying to find out. She's having a lot of trouble getting in. So what we're going to do, Pam, is we're going to start out with you. So you've had some
Okay.
pretty crazy things happen, right?
I have several.
What is one of the most memorable encounters that's happened to you that will probably always stick out to you as the worst one?
The Hat Man.
Really?
That was the worst. That was terrifying. In my house at that. That was terrifying.
So it was actually at your house.
Inside one of my bedrooms, yes. Absolutely. It was a house we'd rented. Never felt anything bad when we moved in. Everything was going good. But we got to seeing little shadows like running around our feet a lot. Just like little balls, little shadow balls. And we saw them all the time. And it had a basement, just like it used to be like I guess a cold storage room, like where people stored their vegetables and stuff that they canned, because that house was built back in the day. And they had cemented the bottom floor. Well, when you went down there, it always felt like something was trying to grab at your legs when you ran back up. It always felt like that. It didn't matter if there was a stranger coming in my house. They said the same thing. It felt like something trying to grab my feet. And it was just, you raced to get up those stairs. And I don't know whatever happened in that house, but right after we moved in, the very first thing I can remember happening in that house is I was hanging pictures, and I thought my little dog had come up behind my feet and something grabbed my ankle. And I'm like, whoa. And I looked and there was nothing there. And that was just the first incident. And then several people saw ghosts in that house. But when I was sitting in the living room watching TV, out of my peripheral, I could see into that bedroom. And we had probably 10-foot ceilings in this house. And I just looked into that room because I knew nobody was at home but me and my dog. And I seen this black figure stand there, and he was standing in front of the window, and he was as tall as the ceiling, every bit of 10 foot tall. And he had on a fedora hat. It wasn't the cowboy big style. It was a little fedora hat. And his arms was out. You could see the duster. You could see the long duster he was wearing. I couldn't see any eyes or face, but you knew in your heart of hearts he was staring at you. And all I could do was stare back, and I just started rebuking him in the name of Jesus, and he just poof and was gone. That terrified me. I had no idea what a hat man was until I started researching. That terrified me. That was scary.
Did anybody in the house ever see him or anything?
Yes, my daughter did. Well, after that first incident, we automatically cleansed the house. We went through spiritually praying. We cleansed the house, never saw it in the house anymore. But we were sitting in the living room one night watching TV, and my daughter was sitting on the love seat, and we were on the couch, and that whole living room was like a Florida room. It had windows all the way around 2 walls of it. And the front of the house was higher up than the back because it was on a hill. And you couldn't have seen in that window. That bottom of that window was 6 foot. And there's no way I seen a figure floating in that window. And I said, what in the world? And I got a good look, and it was the Hat Man again. And he was looking in, watching us watch TV. And I guess because us blessing the house, he couldn't come back in. And then my daughter seen it that night. I said, look at that window. And she's seen it, and my ex seen it. And then the next night we were sitting there, and I seen it in the same window, and it come across my porch, and it went by that big glass window, and it just disappeared. It never come across my front door. It just disappeared. I don't know. Those are the only 3 times we saw that at that house. I have other incidences of other people seeing the Hat Man at another place I lived, which was really bad haunted.
So Scared Silly wants to know, were the little balls black?
Yes, they were dark. Yes. And
Does that remind you?
As soon as you like looked at it, they were gone. But you could see, if you walked and just looked like down to the carpet in front of you, you could see them like floating beside you, about a foot off the floor, and they were about, dinner plate size.
Does that kind of remind you of anything?
Yeah, it sure does.
You remember
Same
that
thing
night
you saw.
when I went boots on the ground, and how they were coming up out of the ground, and is that kind of like what they look like to you?
Yep, they did. Just look like a little, kind of almost perfectly shaped little ball. Just a gray, dark black gray color.
It almost makes you wonder, when you're sleeping in your house during the day, taking naps and stuff,
Yeah.
Is that how they're able to hide where we can't see them? It's because they're just little balls during the day, and then at nighttime they manifest into these larger unknown creatures,
Absolutely. It makes me wonder because I seen that quite a bit. I mean, even up to the day we moved, that was seen in that house.
So
Several people saw him.
did it ever touch you or cause sleep paralysis or move things around the house or anything like that?
Yeah, there would be things moved. You laid your keys here because that was your normal place of laying your keys, and then you couldn't find your keys for 30 minutes. You'd be late going somewhere, but things like that would happen. And it did touch me on the back of the leg. It grabbed my leg. Something touched my daughter and called her name in her bedroom. I don't know. You could hear pitter patter of little kids' feet. We're going up the back hallway where two of the bedrooms was, and you could just hear the pitter patter, like little kids running, how they'll do, like chasing each other in the house. So I don't know what happened in that house. That was an old house. Actually, it's tore down now. Something happened and they tore it down, and I'm sure it's because it was haunted as everything. But
Right,
yeah, there was several people that saw things in there. My cousin come out of the bathroom. He stayed with us a few nights, and he come out of the bathroom, get in the shower, and he was still drying his head, with the towel on his head. And as he come out into the dining room, he lifted the towel up, and he said he walked right straight through a man with overalls on. That was an old man, had a light colored shirt on. He said, I just walked right through him. He come in there, and his eyes was about that big around. He was scared to death. He didn't know what it was. He knew that the house was haunted, but that's the first time anything ever happened to him. But it was terrifying. That whole house was. I didn't live there but about 6 months, and I moved. I said I couldn't take it.
yeah. That
It
would
was
be a little
bad.
much to take. That'd be too much.
Mm-hmm.
And Scared Silly's asking me a question. She wants to know bad spirits. Mike, are bad spirits demons? Scared Silly, I think I've said on the show, I think a lot of times, um, and I appreciate the question. That's a really good question. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I believe, I don't believe in ghosts. That's going to make some people mad. I do not believe in ghosts. I believe that what you have is demons and fallen angels, good angels, and then you have the Lord Jesus Christ and the Holy Ghost. Um, I think anytime that you're messing with a spirit that causes you to fear it, that you're
Mm-hmm.
afraid of, or that tries to scare you, hurt you, or cause you harm, torment, or harassment, that is not a good spirit. We
Mm-mm.
know that anything that comes from our Father is not going to hurt us. It's going to
No.
make us feel good. It's going to make us feel safe.
Mm-hmm.
Jesus says in the Bible, he says, the dead know nothing. And we're not supposed to speak to the dead. We're not supposed to seek necromancy or anything like
Mm-mm.
that. So anyone that is out trying to communicate with spirits, trying to speak to the dead and things like that, Jesus really talked about that. And he said, don't commit the necromancy. Don't speak to the dead. The dead know nothing. And he who once lived does not come back. So ghosts are not former people, in my opinion, that lived and that came back.
Mm-mm.
What we do have, though, is familiar spirits. And these
Mm-hmm.
familiar spirits are demons, and they watch us and family lineages throughout the centuries. They were here in the beginning. And hence, in the book of Enoch, they called some of them the Watchers. Well, they watch and they remember. And whenever you're talking to somebody and somebody says, oh my God, nobody could have ever known that. Only my dad knew that. So she has to be talking to my dad. No,
Mm-mm. No.
she's talking to a demon that was with your dad when that happened. And he's causing
Mm-hmm.
deception to gain your trust, to get you to open up to it, to be able to question it and want it to interact with you. You're causing that interaction. So, a
Mm-hmm.
short answer, Scared Silly, there is, in my opinion, no ghosts. There's only demons, fallen angels, the Holy Ghost, and the Lord Jesus
No,
Christ.
it's
And
good.
I'm
Mm-hmm.
not pushing that on anybody. That is just my belief. That's what I believe. So,
Mm-hmm.
so whenever you was living in that house, you said you lived there approximately 6 months, and then
Mm-hmm.
is that the whole reason that you decided to move? Is because of the phenomenon that was going on in there?
Absolutely.
So when
Yeah.
you
It just was overwhelming. It just was
right,
multiple things we saw in the house, that appeared to be people, that looked like a person, but you walked through them and they were all over that house.
So when you moved, how far away did you move from that place?
Mm, we moved to Gulf Shores from Atala. Probably moved 300 miles.
Oh, wow. And how long after you had moved until you seen your first maybe sense, or did you sense something was wrong? And what happened? Did it happen fast or did it happen slowly?
Well, after we moved back up here, about 3 years later, I moved into another haunted house. Didn't know it. Leave it to us to find the wackos. But yeah, it happened after that, but it was different things. You could just see Grace, I don't know, figures walking through the house, and they didn't bother anybody. I'm the only one that ever touched, and it was like a peck on my shoulder. It was like, hey, like a kid trying to get your attention. It was just a peck on my shoulder or my leg. If I was sitting in my recliner watching TV by myself, everybody in the bed, nobody up. And I think it was the old lady that died in the house. Like, she might be going to ask me, what are you doing in my house? I don't know. But she picked on me all the time. And nothing there. There wouldn't be nothing there. And it got scary. That one did. But we blessed the house, and we never had any more problems out of that house. But other people would come in and see it. It wasn't just me. Strangers would come in and say, is this house haunted? I'm like, wow, what'd you say? It just walked through your kitchen. I said, yeah, that happens every day, all day. And I just think it was a little old lady that had died in that house there. But
So do you think that it's possible that maybe it wasn't new spirits there, that maybe the ones from your old place might have followed you to that place?
it very well could have been. But I do know a lady died in the second house I moved to. I don't know about the first house because I just rented it from somebody I didn't know. But the second house, I do know a little history about it. And the little old lady died in that house. That house was probably built in the 20s, late 20s, early 30s. And her and her two brothers lived there. And I think all three of them died in that home because they didn't want to go to a hospital. You know how old times are, how they used to be. But yeah, she definitely died in that house, and we could smell a smell, and everybody said she died with female cancer, and it just was a rank smell that we smelt in that house. After we blessed it, we got rid of that. We got rid of it, never had any more problems, but it smelled like somebody opened up a can of tuna or salmon. And I don't know why, but it went away. That smell went away after we blessed the house, and then I didn't ever get touched anymore. But both of them was rental houses, so who knows what happened in those homes, before me.
Right. Was it like could you feel it like leave the house when they done that? Was there like a sense of a lighterness, or how would you
Yes.
explain how you knew it left?
Well, I was standing at the outside door, and there was two people going through blessing the house, and I was standing there making sure the last door was opened. And as it went by me, I felt weird go by me, and then I closed that door, and that was it. It just felt like something passed by me, and that just, and then we never had any more problems. So I felt like it was her leaving. We told her to go to the light, to go find her family, to go, because she didn't need to be there. She was stuck or something. I don't know, but I never had any more trouble out of that after that one.
So didn't you say somebody walked through somebody in one of your houses?
Yeah, my cousin walked through an old man. He said he had overalls on. And my ex also walked through one that he was turning to go down the hallway to go where the washer and dryer was. And as he turned, he said there was a man standing there with khaki pants on and a white shirt. And he said, I just went right through him and I turned around, and he said, I turned around and looked, and there was nobody standing there. He said, but I just like a wisp. He went through him. That was weird. I never encountered that part. Thank goodness. I probably would have died of a heart attack. But
Yeah, I don't think I would want to have to walk through anybody. Hey,
mm-mm.
Alexander, man, thank you for being here tonight. Welcome, welcome to the chat. So, did you ever feel in fear, like you was going to be hurt?
In that second house, no, in the first house I did, yes. The when I saw the Hat Man in, yeah, I did. And I felt like whatever was in that little one room basement, it it felt like it wanted to hurt you. That's why when anybody went down there, it was just a quick go down there and put something in that room, and it was like a storage room is what we used it for. And it was right back up them stairs. It felt like it wanted to hurt you when you was in that room. For some reason or another, I don't know why, but I don't know if something
That's really
happened
weird.
back in the day, but it did. It felt it. I felt very eerie to be in that room. Very like I wanted out.
That is strange. Julie, welcome to the chat and welcome. We're glad to have you. Thank you for being here, and I hope you're having a good evening. Also, so I have to ask you:
Go
Did
ahead.
any of your family play the Ouija board? Was there a lot of argument in your home? Was there any alcoholism in your home? Was there any kind of dark games being played, or had anybody
Not
dabbled in something?
not that I know of. I do know there was some history of someone that stayed there that had a drug problem. That I let stay there. But other than that, no. I just felt bad for him and tried to give him a place to live, and that's something I can figure that maybe it come from that. That's in the one with the Hat Man, and it
Right.
was in the room, and it was in seen in the room they slept in.
That's really wild. All right, Alexander, man. Hey, yeah, we're glad you're here. Um, we're glad to see everybody here tonight in the chat. So, whenever you would go to bed, did it ramp up any more at night than it did during the daytime, or was it pretty much about the same?
About the same. I could feel it bumping the bed at night. A sound asleep, it'd wake me up. It just felt like one of the kids come up to the bed and just bumped the bed, like to reach for me because we had a big bed. Never was nothing standing beside us. It would touch our feet under the covers, on top of the covers. Like I say, it would touch me, but that only that downstairs room felt like, it was just awful. I just couldn't explain that feeling. It just, your heart would race when you went in that room, that downstairs room. And that was, my bedroom was right above that room. So it did,
Makes you wonder,
it makes you wonder.
what's went on in that house, what's happened in that house,
Yeah.
huh?
And the thing about it is, it was a short block I lived on. There was supposed to be 4 homes on that block. There was 3 left. And out of the 3, all of the houses were built alike with one of those, what I call uh, dirt floor cellars type rooms is what it was. My house that I rented was the only one that somebody had cemented the floor. And I got to wondering, was somebody killed and buried under this thing? I mean, why would they cement the floor? It's just
Sure,
a storage cellar type room. It was weird.
they talk about haunted things being buried on people's property and it causing
Mm-hmm.
trouble, and they have to go dig it up and remove it to get rid of the
Yep.
attachment that's attached to the
Yep.
object.
Well, I know less than a year of us moving out, I heard it burnt to the ground and is gone now. So something happened there. I don't know. That was a very strange house. Very strange.
Right. Irish, good to see you in the chat tonight. I was hoping you would be able to at least stop by tonight. I've been looking for you. So whenever you was there, did it seem like it was more attracted to anyone else in the house more than anybody else, or did it seem like everybody was fair game?
Pretty much everybody was fair game. Yeah. But it did touch the women more than it touched the men. But everybody that was there would see it. It was everybody seen it. Seen shadows or you'd see a shadow on the wall and there wouldn't be nobody walk by and you knew, that shadow shouldn't have been on the wall. Everybody's seen things like that and seen the little ball things, just scurrying across the floor. It reminded me about the size of, I guess, what I saw on the floor, probably about the size of a small beaver, just the body of the beaver. They were no bigger than that. And they just would all around your feet, just everywhere. But
Like it
yeah,
was run,
everybody saw those.
kind of like it was scurrying around, huh?
Yep, it was. Yeah,
That's really strange.
that house was creepy. Very creepy.
That is weird. Pam had, let's see, Sharon's got a question for you.
Mm-hmm.
Pam, did it ever try to sit beside anyone in the bed or their chair? Damn, Sharon.
I don't know. Those times that the bed got bumped, who knows? It could have been somebody sat down. I didn't take time to look. I rolled over and tried to just shut my eyes when I didn't see nobody there. I mean, it was scary. It could have been possible that bump I felt could have been somebody sitting on the foot of the bed. Very possible.
Now
But
that would
I
be.
never. And in that house as well, my daughter, we were sitting there the night that she saw the Hat Man. About the time right before he appeared, there was this big white light come out of the ceiling fan and about hit my daughter's head, and she had to duck and she looked behind her. And then about that time is when I turned and seen the Hat Man. So I don't know if that was, I don't know what that was. It was just a solid white ball of light, like somebody threw a flashlight, just the light of a flashlight. And it was about, I don't know, dinner plate size, maybe a little smaller. And went right over her head, and she literally ducked. She thought she was getting hit in the head with something. Don't know what that was.
That's really weird.
It's very strange.
Nobody was hurt though.
No, nobody ever
Thank
got
you,
hurt.
Daisy.
We moved out pretty quick. I said I'm not staying here. I'd rather lived on the side of the road than had to lived in there with all them crazy things that was going on.
It makes you feel kind of maybe like something's watching you, or I've had that feeling before. Whenever I would live somewhere, I would feel like, man, something's watching me, or you feel that heavy presence. And,
yep, sure did.
Or
I always
that
got
feeling
little butterflies in my stomach. Like, why? If I got butterflies, I just felt like somebody was going to be right behind me if I turned around. That weird, heavy, funny feeling. And that house was it was. Everybody that come in there said it felt heavy to them. And I think it's somebody that maybe lived there that left some bad juju behind or something. You know what I mean? Because it
makes you wonder.
It makes you wonder where it comes from.
Or what somebody had done in that house, previously.
Yeah. Yes. Because rental houses, you don't know. You just don't know when you're renting a house and you move in, you don't know the history about it or anything.
I wonder, you also don't know how many people's died in that home, or, what they done in that home, or if they had an altar in that home.
That's true.
Like witches, right? Witches are into magic. They are into altars. They're into, they will even come out and in a way, you're going to know what a witch is. You're going to see her dabbling in the spirits. You're going to see her, focused in the earth, the elements. They usually have a telltale sign. Even their name, or in their name, they will somehow present it out there. And they say that that's a law, that whenever they do that, that's kind of a spiritual law, is they have to kind of show you what they are. They don't have to tell you right out, hey, this is what I am. But if you watch, you'll see the signs.
Absolutely.
Like we talked about, the other night. They'll hide behind the name of Christ, but we know that Satan also disguised himself as an angel of light. So deception is how they like to play, and these spirits and demons, and you're probably not going to find them in happy places. You're going to find them in sad, dark places, and they're going to wait there, and they're going to wait for that opening, right? They're going to wait for somebody to have that opening, and then try to attach. I had a friend that worked at a funeral parlor, And he would say when they would bring a body in, that some nights, whenever he would stay all night there while they was embalming the body and getting it ready for viewing, that some bodies would give a peaceful feeling. There wouldn't be a heavy feeling at all. You could walk
Mm-hmm.
around and check the doors, and they would do their little checks when they would walk around. But then they could
Mm-hmm.
bring another body in, and he said, man, stuff would move around. You'd see shadows, you would hear things, and it was just like they couldn't wait to get that body out of there.
Right.
That's,
That's scary.
oh, yeah, because I mean,
It's scary.
it makes you wonder a lot of things. Hey, boss, good to
Yeah.
see you. It
My
makes you
daughter's
wonder.
father worked at a
uh,
nursing home, and he did that. He had to be there at night and close up, and he said that he would see things walking into the bathroom, and he knew he was the only person in the building, and he could hear all kinds of things all night long. He said he could not stand to have to close up that place at night and be the last one out. He said it was terrifying. He said it was every time, every day. I said no. He didn't keep that job very long. I don't blame him either.
right. I think I missed somebody. Sharon, yeah, I'm lagging. My chat is not running right. I'm having to, every time to see my chat, it's making me refresh it. I don't know why it's doing that. But I hope I didn't miss Drew's question. Did he have a question, Sharon? Is that what it was? I'll try to check on the side here. Let me see if I can pull it. I don't see Drew. I'm looking for you, Drew. There we go. Nope, Drew, we can see you. You're not censored. Nope, you're good to go, man. I can see you. But yeah, it would freak me out if I was working in a place like that and they would bring in a body and different things would happen and then bring another body in and something else happened. I mean, there has to be something to
Yeah,
it, right?
there has to be, because he didn't really ever believe in things like that until he started working there, and he said, "Oh yeah, I think he worked there like 2 or 3 months, and he got another job." He said he couldn't handle it.
That happened a lot to me whenever I worked at the mall. I would be in there alone and
Mm-mm.
you're not alone. You're supposed to, I mean, the cash registers would ding at night. You'd hear the doors shut. You'd hear
Wow.
talking, visiting, laughing. I've had the toilets flush. You'd be walking down the public hallway. The toilets would flush.
Wow.
Yeah, you would hear like kids laughing and giggling sometimes. In the food court, sometimes you would hear like the person say at Subway would shut the ice door. An ice machine would have that boom. You'd
Yeah.
hear that stuff all night long. You know, so
Not
I could
me.
I could only imagine. Lynn says when
Yeah.
I worked at a hospital, uh, they would have a light go off in the ICU room number 6. Oof.
Wow.
See, there's a lot of weird things that happen. I mean,
Very much
there
so.
was we had an officer one time, and this officer had just started working for us, and I was getting ready to go home that night. I was a captain, and my other captain that was working with me, we had been working a case and we'd been investigating it, and we got ready to leave. And this other officer, he was new, he was going to stay the night. So we got everything wrapped up and everything, and we had just drove probably 2 miles from there, and we had pulled over into the parking lot of a place that was closed. And usually after work, to wind down, we'd go to the parking lot, get us something to drink, smoke a cigarette, talk a little bit, then we'd head home.
Hmm.
So we was out there, and we was maybe out there, I don't know, 45 minutes, maybe close to an hour. And next thing I know, our emergency, we have beepers, we carry pagers back then, and our pagers go off at the same time. And we look at it, and it's the dispatcher saying there was an emergency at the mall. So we jump in our POVs and we head down there as fast as we can. And when we get there, we go inside. The outside door is actually opened and unsecured, and it should have been secured. So
Wow.
we ran inside, and as you run in, you got to run into this little back room where they take all the food and stuff into the stores, and you go through the double doors up the public hallway, and then to the office where he was at. So when we got there, we couldn't find him. And that was kind of worrisome that we couldn't find the officer. So we went into the control room, pulled up the security video. And when we pulled up the security video, we found him. He was walking in front of this building, right in front of a window. He stops. He turns his head and he looked. Man, he ran. The dude took off in a dead run. We watched him run all the way out of there, hard as he could, knocked the doors open, ran across the parking lot, didn't even get in his car, and ran. Well, we ended up contacting him, and we found him, and we got to talking to him. And he said that whenever he looked in those windows, he said, I saw inside of J.C. Penney's, he named the store. He said, whenever I looked inside of there, I saw horses and Civil War people with a fire. And he said one of them looked at me and pointed at me. And he quit that night. He turned his badge in and everything. So we ended up having to stay there that night. But that kid was scared to death. It was crazy. I mean, he was in almost total shock. He had seen something that he had never seen before. You could tell the kid was soaked in sweat. They actually ended up finding him. It was about a block away, and he was at a Shell station. He was so scared, Pam, he wouldn't even come back to the parking lot to get his vehicle. They had to have an officer drive his vehicle to him. He said he wouldn't even go back. He wouldn't go back.
Wow. I wouldn't either.
He couldn't do it.
I wouldn't do it.
He said, I can't go back. He said, my body will not let me do it. He said, what I saw ain't supposed to happen, man. And, you know, if you think about it, it's not like he was looking back in time and seeing something that had happened.
No.
If that ghost actually seen him and reacted to him, that means it's seen him, right?
Absolutely. And when you see something that for the first time and you know that it's not supposed to be there, it's terrifying when you first see it. It's like you rub your eyes and you think, what am I looking at? But it's there, and there's, you know, what do you do? I just always started rebuking in the name of Jesus, and just it always left me alone, because stuff like that's not normal.
Right. Yeah. Irish. Yeah. He wasn't going to take photos. That dude didn't even stand around. I mean, we was watching him on video, and he looks and he runs. He was gone. He was like, nope, not today. He was gone. But Irish, if you're looking for a job, I could probably get you on out there if you're wanting to take some photos. I'll see what I can do for you. I'll put a word in for you. I don't want to work there no more, but if you're interested, I will put a good word in for you. You have any more, Pam? Any more experiences?
I was just going to say, I've got several, but that house that we saw the Hat Man in, my son was laying in that room one night, and after I had seen the Hat Man, but his ceiling fan, the ceilings, like I said, was 10 foot, so we had to have a chain to even turn the ceiling fan light or fan on and off, and it was long, and he was laying there watching TV, and all of a sudden, like something hit that. I think he had an alligator or something hanging on the end of it, a little toy thing, and it slung it, and it went across his bed like a pendulum. He jumped up running there. He said, what in the heck is that? I said, what? And he told me what had happened. I said, it's whatever lives here. I said, there's nothing. I mean, what do you do? I mean, just like something just smacked the part out of it, and that thing swung for like 3 minutes. I mean, it's just things like that all through that house. And then I moved back up here the second time from Gulf Shores. I moved into my brother and his wife's double wide. I was renting to buy it from them, and my brother's wife had died in that bathtub. His first wife had died in that bathtub, or that's where they found her. I don't think she died there, but that's where they found her, in the jacuzzi. And the first night I moved in, it was hot in the summer and I was sweating, so I jumped in the shower just to stand there and cool off, and something kept poking me on the butt. Just like, hey, what are you doing in here? I don't know. where that come from, but it's just awful strange that that's where they found her. And, and that would be like her to do that because she was funny like that. Me and her were good friends, so she was funny like that. So she probably done it to scare me. I don't know if it was her or what it was, but it something literally with the finger was poking me. And I turned around and looked. Bathroom door locked. Nobody was in there. I don't know. I have no idea. But weird things like that have happened to several houses I've lived in.
Gary wants to know if you think the Hat Man is evil.
Yes, I do. I didn't feel anything good coming from him. All I felt was pure evil. Pure evil. It didn't feel good. It was like it was rage. Like I could feel rage. Like in his stance, he had his arms out, like somebody fixing to bluff charge you, out to the side, and you could see like between his arms, you could see the dust around him, but like he was standing in a mad way. Like I didn't see any face at all. It was all black, every bit of it. I couldn't even see through him. He completely blocked out the window, and he was standing right directly in front of a window, and I couldn't even see through him. He was so black. And it was daylight. It was during the daytime, and it blocked that window out. Very scary.
Do you think it was mad at somebody in the house, maybe?
Maybe. Very well could have been. That I had been living there about 2 months, I think, when I seen that. But the other things, was happening all around, and then all the other little pitter patter of the kids' feet. And that kids is what got me. I said, "No, I can't stay here. I don't know what that is, but I can't stay here." And then when my daughter kept getting touched, I'm like, "No, we got to go." She was about 15 when that happened. I said, she was terrified. She wouldn't even sleep in her room. Like it was pretty bad. It got pretty bad at touching people, but it never hurt anybody. It was just a peck or grab your foot or grab your toe just to be funny. I don't know. Never harmed anyone. So I don't know. But the Hat Man I think it's very evil. Very much so. No volume, Mike.
What was some of the other encounters you had?
Like at that, my brother's, the house I was getting for my brother and them, on the mantle, it had a fireplace in it, and I had a picture standing up, and it fell over and didn't fall off. It was just the picture itself. It wasn't in a frame, and it just fell over and just rested. The fireplace mantle was here, and that picture just rested. And how that happened, I don't know. We'd find things like that, just strange things all through that house. People's cigarettes would get thrown in the toilet for no reason, them being the only one home. Things moved around. You'd see things outside that you thought you seen something black, but yet it was gone by the time you looked. I mean, you've seen that all the time on that property. But I lived right next to a cemetery, like where I lived was a there was a stop sign right there in front of my house. And there was 2 cemeteries. I could see one of them right there. I could throw a baseball and hit the headstones. I mean, I was that close. So I don't know. I don't know if that's where some of the activity came from or not. It was pretty scary. Very much.
Did you ever have any toys or anything move around, or did anybody ever see anything like that? Did it ever move any objects or anything like that?
The kids' toys of my twin grandsons were probably, I don't know, a year old, and their toys would go off, especially if it was a racket toy, that made you play music or rolled and made a racket. That sometimes, it would go off in the bottom of a toy box, and had been nobody touched that toy box in days, and a toy would go off for no reason. Toys would be out on the floor out of the toy box a couple times, and I was wondered how that happened because the kids hadn't even been there, but nothing else that I can think of. Just things getting moved. My granddaughter saw something. She was 3, I think, at the time, and she was sitting at the end of the bar eating a bowl of cereal, and she saw this black something run through the yard across the porch. So I don't know if that was the Hat Man followed us up there or what, because it was after the other house. So I don't know what that was, but she said it was black that run through the yard. So
I had a guy tell me that he had one actually follow him in his car. He was driving home from work one night, and he said he looked in his rearview mirror, and there was a shadow of something sitting in the back seat on this dark stretch of road. And he said it kept telling him, "You're going to die tonight and go to hell. You're going to die tonight and go to hell."
God.
And he said it was scaring him really bad. He drove to a preacher's house that night that he knew, and he told the preacher, he said, "I got to get saved." And the preacher said, "Well, come to church next Sunday." He said, "No, you don't understand." He said, "I want to get saved right now." And he went in and got saved that night, and whatever it was, he said, was never back in his vehicle. So could you imagine?
No. That vehicle would have been running down the road by itself. I'd have been out of that car.
I mean, 'cause, and to think, because I had a lot of long drives home at night, by yourself, and you're driving and you're thinking, and you got the radio on. And back when I used to smoke, I was having a cigarette, enjoying the drive home. And could you imagine you look in your rearview mirror and there's a guy back there saying, "You're going to die and you're going to go to hell"?
No. I couldn't imagine that. I could not. Like I said, I'd be out that car because that car's been going right on with the man in the back.
I would have been
on the road. I'd have been out. You dang straight. I don't deal with that. I don't like that. No way. I just, and now I haven't lived in anything that I would say scary in probably 4 or 5 years. So I think I've outrun whatever was chasing me, whatever it was.
No, it probably gave up. It gave up on you. That's what it was.
Gave up. Yep. Because I've been doing all right as far as I haven't seen anything in other places. But it could have been, like you said, I was in a bad marriage too during a couple of those. So that could have been part of it. Just,
you think they could have been maybe attached to your other half?
Yeah. And that situation. I don't have to say it online, but
Yeah. Really bad situation.
Yeah. So yeah,
definitely
I believe so.
Demonic. I mean, it's definitely demonic.
Absolutely.
So what he done is demonic. So
absolutely.
I could see that definitely happening. So
that's the only thing I can figure that it was possibly coming from, other than the person on drugs, but both, either or both could have been a factor in that.
That's scary.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that opens doorways to things like that. I mean,
yep. Me too.
You can invite things, or you can run into things that sees that opening. Kind of like last night, I thought it was pretty interesting when I was talking to Wagner. Mm-hmm. And everybody has different beliefs, and I think that we have to approach things as an investigator with an open mind. Now, I personally don't believe in aliens. I believe aliens are demons, and I believe they're deceiving us. But one thing I think is important when we look at these cases is that we do know that no matter what you believe it is, there's something up there that is communicating with people. And
absolutely.
No matter what religion you are, you still have to agree that there is something there that is communicating. And I thought it was really interesting whenever he said, well, they can't just come after you into your home, that you have to give them permission. And, they talk about the CE5 project.
Yep.
Well, it doesn't work unless you open yourself up to them. So for me, that put more into concrete to what the Bible says about opening yourself up to spirits and unfamiliar spirits. And so to me, it just solidified what they are, because they're trying to gain your trust, right? They want your trust. They want you to trust them.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like that, that vampire that comes over, and he says, stops at the door, and you oh, well, come on in, right?
Yeah.
You know, I mean, once you welcome it in, you got to get rid of it. And then whenever you have to get rid of it, like what Ron Cross and then we're talking about, you know, once an exorcism occurs and you sweep the house, they try to come back with more. So it's always a spiritual battle. There is a spiritual battle going on.
Mhm.
I have a guest that I've been working on for a while, trying to get to come on the show. Never been on the show before, and today this person agreed to come on. It's going to be a really good show.
Wow.
And
That's awesome.
it's going to blow. Yeah, it's going to blow a lot of people away. I also have some other guests lined up that's going to be coming on, and we got a lot of big plans coming up. Also, you know who some of the guests are I've been talking to. So we got a lot of good things coming. A lot of people are coming over here, sticking with us and hanging out with us and believing in us and supporting us, and that's going to keep us going. You know, I don't know. I know that a lot of you people had asked us, you know, to get, you know, our days at certain times and stick with it. We're working on that for y'all right now too, so we'll be letting you know more about that. But Pam, what else you got? Is there any more? You got any more encounters?
No, not that I can really think of. Just little things, like I said, just small little things. But I guess that's about it with mine.
All right, and I think what we're looking at right now, guys, is possibly doing our podcast every Wednesday now at 6 o'clock p.m. And we're looking at possibly Saturday nights instead of Friday nights. So we will see what happens with that. But Pam, if that's all you got, I'm going to let you have the last word, and we will wrap it up tonight. And I'm sorry Kristina couldn't make it in; she had technical difficulties, and hopefully we can get her on another time.
I just want to thank you for letting me come on and tell some of my encounters and things that has happened to me. And thank you everyone for coming on and listening. And I love you guys very much. My abnormal family. Thank you very much. Bye.
All right, guys. Thanks for showing up and supporting us tonight. Pam, thank you for being here, guys. You get to meet one of our moderators tonight, Pam. Maybe we can have the other ones come on slowly. They can share their encounters or what got them started in this world. Again, guys, thank you for being here. Most of all, God bless you guys. That's the, you know, we really appreciate you guys. And until next time, keep your head on a swivel. Don't be something's dinner. We'll see you on the next one, guys.
Bye.
Good night.